Welcome to 2025. We are excited to announce to you that Vice Versa Media is 1 year old in Ghana. And in this first edition of Beyond the Pole in the new year, we would like to do a retrospect of key activities, impacting stories done, and achievements in the past year of the inception of Vice Versa Media in Ghana. Expect to see how we have evolved as an organization and also take notice of how our visual interface transformed over the year. This is Beyond the Pole. My name is Mike Kojo Frempong. Now, in our very first story, we begin with the launch of Vice Versa Media in Ghana. It was an evening event that saw many dignitaries and guests in attendance. This global platform that seeks to project positive values and opportunity to the youth to learn and practice in their field of interest was applauded and welcomed by all.
Actually a very great day. Now, Vice Versa Media Ghana has been here for only 3 months, but it's been existing for the past 3 years, not just in Ghana, but all the way in Netherlands. And so we're excited that finally it's in Ghana and it's here to promote our media space. It's to promote things that happens in our communities, in our societies.
Today marks a very significant moment in our journey as we officially launch Vice Versa Media Ghana.
We started 3 years ago in Kenya, and then we also expand to Uganda. And this year, because of a donation of the Tony Chocolonely Foundation, we managed to expand to Ghana as well.
For us at Multimedia, we are really excited by Vice Versa. Excited on 2 levels. First, an alumni of Multimedia, Nana, who worked with us for years and worked on the Joy Learning channel, is managing this. And so we are really excited to see one of our own grow into this new position.
For the Netherlands Embassy here in Ghana, we're really focused on horticulture and cocoa. And I'm really looking forward to see what's going on with Vice Versa here in Ghana, especially on the cocoa, because those stories, they need to get out there. And especially when it's including the youth and the women. So I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. Thank you very much.
As part of the 1 year commemoration, we spoke to the country coordinator who highlighted how Beyond the Pole, our flagship program, became a milestone among the other initiatives introduced throughout the year, sharing insight on its origin and the journey so far.
Beyond the Pole was conceived during our operational setup in Ghana last year, and as a cross-border organization, we sought to create a platform displaying positive development-focused stories from Ghana especially, and then also Uganda, Kenya, and then in the Netherlands. We aimed at highlighting the African continent's achievements and inspiring narratives. I'm proud to say that Beyond the Pole has made significant strides. We have featured numerous stories, social impact stories, I might say, highlighting key individuals, communities, and also organizations driving positive change in the African society. And our platform has become a leading voice and for policymakers and decision makers to take action. By sharing these inspiring stories, we hope to continue promoting development and progress across the continent. Developing Beyond the Pole presented several challenges. Initially, our team consisted mainly of journalists, and which limited our human resources, and to create a dynamic platform, we required media professionals in addition, So despite these challenges, we persevered and also adapted to create a high quality programming for the entire organization.
At the heart of Vice Versa Media is our mission to unravel women in cocoa and their immense contribution to the cocoa industry. With this in view, we set on a mission to cover this unique story of resilience with a spotlight on Barkoff and e-cocoa.
Emre kwani mu bese mfie mienu miensa echi no enkamba ya kan ye ho abomu yebetumi atoya nkasa ye koko na ye nsoso sika aba ye mfoto ema wo mo sam ye nyire ye ho na ye adwumaden.
So I have with me here a very key member of e-cocoa, Fosi. What does this cooperative mean to you and other women?
This cooperative, what it means to me, empowering the Ghanaian cocoa farmer to be able to stand to help herself, to help her home, children and husband, to really be a solid foundation for the family.
Now, imagine being trapped in a world that does not understand you, where every day is a struggle to communicate, to connect, and to be accepted. This is the reality of millions of individuals with autism, including an estimated 150,000 people with autism in Ghana alone. As an organization committed to making a difference, we spotted Nanaya, a young lady living with autism who is doing exceptionally well to make a difference.
Despite her condition, she's determined to become one of the most inspiring humans on earth. Nanaya has turned her life around with the support of her family. Her mother, Madam Mrs. Mary Amuakofo, shared with us about Nanaya's childhood and her experience growing up with autism.
Nanaya was born in 2003. Pregnancy and childhood was all right. She walked at 1. She started saying a few words before 2 years. But we noticed around 3 years that the few words that she had, she stopped saying them, such as bye-bye, mama, water. So we got a bit worried, but we didn't know it was, anything medical.
When Nanaya was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, the family initially reacted with shock and denial because it was unexpected. However, they chose to take a positive stance and support Nanaya in developing her interests and passions.
To honest story, one of our iconic events last year was the Peja Literature Festival, which unraveled the power of literature and unique individuals challenging the voice of African narratives.
Writers, poets, and creators from across the continent and the diaspora gathered for these unforgettable days of reading, panel discussion, and book launches. Amongst them was the acclaimed Liberian author Vampa Sharif.
I was exposed to war literature, read the Russian writers, the European writers, the Americans, some Asian writers, and many African writers. And so war came in Kuwait, the Gulf War, and I was forced to flee Kuwait and through Jordan, 2 years in Syria, and finally ended up in the Netherlands as a refugee.
This year's festival, held at the Goethe Institute, was a perfect platform for Sharif to introduce his latest work to the Ghanaian audience.
To the international news, in order to feature interesting and life-changing stories from other African countries, Vice Versa Media Ghana introduced international segments where we creatively had a direct interactive link between the presenter and the reporter at the other side of both the headline and the main reportage. One of the unique stories we captured was on how street photography has become a means of employment for the youth in Kenya.
2 years ago, creatives were required to apply for licenses from the Kenya Film and Classifications Board just to operate a camera here in town. A directive from Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja, however, overturned all laws that prohibited videography, and right now, creatives are free to go about their work but responsibly.
To our paparazzi segment, the year under review has been an eventful one. Speaking on eventful journeys, Ghana has successfully inaugurated its newly elected president, John Dramani Mahama, and the first female vice president, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, at the Blaster Square. Ghana indeed has turned a historical page that undoubtedly will be unforgotten. Nana Joaboni has more in the paparazzi segment. Let's take a look.
We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we would get there. It will be hard, we know. That the road would be muddy and rough. We would get there. Finally, January has ended. Yes, it has been a very, very lengthy month actually. I for one believe as 150 days, because if you are a salary earner or you're a salary worker, you better appreciate how lengthy January is. It's just a month after December, a festive month, and it's difficult. It's one of the most muddiest months ever. It's been very hard on me actually. But I have in the studio a gentleman who has been highly favored in the month of January. He's had it very easy. His name is Oliver Lamptey. Hello, Oliver.
Hello, Joa.
Oh, the highly favored man.
You like bad.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Highly favored where?
He's been favored. Like, he was favored in the month of January.
You and I were suffering in the same January. Please.
So wait.
Maybe you didn't the Gary.
Were you taking Gary?
I wasn't taking it Gary.
Oh, lucky.
I wasn't taking it. But it was because of my doctor's direction that I shouldn't take in Gary.
Hey, okay.
So I had to find a close substitute because I can't better me.
So what was the substitute?
Roasted plantain. AKA Kofi Brookman.
You were taking roasted plantain?
Yes, not only roasted plantain.
Okay.
It has some other partners, granules.
Okay.
And the most important thing, 2 sachets of water. You have to get it.
Okay.
My sister, if you don't get that 2 sachets of water, within 2 hours, you'll be hungry again.
So what, the water is more like the main ingredient?
As if, the water
complements it.
Combines them, makes them, more like sustainable in the tummy.
Okay,
okay. That's it. You later use it.
But at least it's balanced. It's balanced, and that's the best thing, the good thing about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for you.
Oh, I'm also happy for
the
you.
The highly favored man in the month of January. Okay, speaking of being broke.
Please, I wasn't broke. I was surviving, not broke.
Speaking of being broke, survival and being broke are the same thing. Speaking of being broke, most young people are tilting towards social media because of the potency of the social media currency. I mean, everybody nowadays, you would troop to social media. Everything happens on social media. And one of the fast-growing apps on the social media space is TikTok. Everybody is now a TikTok star. Even for me, I'm even thinking of becoming a TikTok star. And because there's so much money to be earned there, in Ghana, it is very difficult to be monetized. So most of these young people tend to use their siblings, their parents, who live abroad, their contact, their numbers, to register their TikTok account. So it will be easier for TikTok to monetize their page. And this has been something that's been going on for a very long time. Actually, I feel it's very good. Actually,
it's good. It's good. At least the youth to be like, will get something to do that will earn them an income. But some people too, like, someone will say, oh, it just has like 10 followers, and the person will be like, I'm a TikToker, I'm an influencer. For the way, hey, who are you influencing?
He's influencing the 10 people. He's influencing the 10 people.
Please.
Okay, but the sad thing is, TikTok was banned. A ban was placed on TikTok in the USA, which directly affects Ghanaians because the people who actually use contacts in the USA were really affected. People were gnashing. People were gnashing. I have a friend who was like, literally, like, it felt more like a heartbreak. It was worse than a guy breaking your heart.
Wow, so you've experienced it before.
Come on. It's not that deep. But me, I'm a hard girl. Yes, it's not that deep.
And you remember this experience.
But luckily, happy for all Ghanaians. So luckily for everyone, TikTok, the ban has been lifted. Trump, the new president, has really given them 30 days to actually put their house in order, right? And make sure that within the 30-day period, they are able to get someone on the American soil to purchase 50% of the shares of the company, so it could be balanced. It's a hard deal, but what can you do? I mean,
I wish I had that money.
It's something.
Yes, it is.
It is. So whilst people are crying, others are happy. Yes, and in Ghana, we are so happy. We are excited because for the first time ever, we are championing inclusivity like no other. Yeah. For the first time ever, we have a female vice president. And it's a big deal for we girls or we women because now I can aspire to become a president. Why are you doing that?
Oh, yeah.
It's like he doesn't want me to become a president.
I'm rooting for you. You can. You should aspire to become a president. Yeah. Yes. You have a long
You're being sarcastic.
I'm supporting you. Come
Anyways, and for the first time ever, we had an all-female motorcade. Wow. Yes, and the representation of women in parliament is increasing. Yeah. And it's a big win for us, actually. For me, it's a big win. I'm so happy because, I have aspirations to become a president, right? But what does this mean for you as a young Ghanaian?
Oh, at least, we are seeing huge changes. Yes.
Hey, you've already started seeing changes. Hey, okay.
I mean, it starts with,
okay.
We've never had any female vice president, and now we have a female vice president for the first time in Ghana's history. So it's something. It's a huge change. And she coming on board, she's going to, introduce this kind of motherly feeling. You understand?
Can you imagine? He's expecting... You're expecting the vice president to act like a mother?
You don't know. She's really fortunate she doesn't stay in my area. Every morning up to evening, I'll be
Do you think it will affect our policy?
At least she will talk on our behalf, as a mother, for us, for our problems or our issues to be solved for us. And at least the youth will stop betting.
Do you bet?
No, I don't bet.
See, guys, he's telling lies. Because I've seen a betting slip in his drawer and I know he's telling lies.
I was keeping it for a friend.
Oh my God.
You don't know the story I said that.
Oliver is a big liar. He bets as if his life depends on it. Okay, so this is how we conclude the Paparazzi segment. I am Nana Bunny, and I did it with a gentleman who loves to bet. He bets for a living.
Hey, my sister.
His name is Oliver Lamptey. Alright, so I have a good news. Vice Vessel Media Ghana is 1 year old, and we are excited. We are more happy to have you, our viewers, on board. You have been with us from day one till now, and we are so excited. So what we are appealing to you is continue to support us, comment whenever we post our stories, and tell a friend to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to all our channels across our social media platform. And we would continue to provide you with very impactful and exciting poem outlines and stories. Until next time, for now, it's bye.
It has indeed been an exciting year. As we celebrate 1 year of impactful journalism and growth, we look forward to churning out more groundbreaking and unique stories in the days ahead. Do well to follow us and visit our social media platforms to watch these impacting stories. The links to these stories are in the description box. Thanks for watching. My name is Mike Kojo Frempong.